Hi, welcome to the third in this series of videos aimed at small and medium-sized enterprises and about how to put sustainability into your organisation. This one is looking at how we're actually going to build now the framework for action. So what is that going to look like for your business and how is it going to be presented to other people? So first to think about is there's not going to be any kind of singular way of hanging a framework together. It is entirely dependent on what your business looks like. When I used to work in NHS trusts, some trusts were looking at understanding sustainability on a ward by ward basis, and others were looking at patient pathways through the hospitals. So there are real differences in how we actually can cut things. A couple of examples here. This is from a farming or a catering company. So this is looking at the different focus areas for their place, and this is a kind of quite a typical example of what focus areas an organisation such as a service organisation might put together. You want to make everything really relevant to your business, and as far as possible in future you want to be aligning your business ambitions and your sustainability ambitions. This will help you become resilient against policy landscapes that are changing quite quickly, and it will also give you an edge if you're looking to long-term into having your business on a long-term basis. So realistically, what we're moving towards is something which is around circular economy type models. So this is where we are really limiting waste going into the environment. So how is your business going to fit into these kind of policy ambitions on a longer term basis? And what's that going to mean? I mean, you might be a kind of smaller enterprise that has single premises within their community, and you are quite happy with that as your business. It's comfortable and fulfilling, and so you won't be looking at growing necessarily, but you will be looking then at reducing your impact and maybe actually supporting a more localised economy growing. So there is some really exciting opportunities to be had through collaborations and things going forward. Importantly, you want to think about what capacity you have in the organisation to achieve these ambitions and targets. If you are larger and you can employ a person, that is absolutely fantastic, and they will be responsible for a myriad of activity. Make sure they have access to your key decision makers and and people who are able to filter down and influence their departments. If you're more of a medium-sized enterprise, you might be thinking giving responsibility to all of your staff in different ways, but you will want people who are actually responsible for monitoring and evaluation of particular targets and implementing actions and making sure they're working. This was quite a neat little diagram, which was it was from a learning institution, and it was looking about the different stakeholders on board. So again, you're going to be thinking about how you're going to influence your stakeholders, and then also if you're a micro organisation and everything feels very overwhelming and you don't want to get involved in loads more paperwork, then don't worry about it. You can start undertaking some of the actions towards a net zero business, and you don't need to monitor it, and you can put them in place and they will be working and making you a greener business. So don't feel bad if you don't have this sort of capacity. Just make it work for your business. It can be as simple as an Excel spreadsheet. It can be as tricky as and as beautiful as a software dashboard that are now available for sustainability. So you can think about how to actually present and be aiming your work and who you're going to be actually aiming these pieces of work at. Hopefully your clients and other stakeholders. And then your long-term ambition, you should be looking to target net zero. This is likely to be aligning with future policy ambitions and targets. So net zero is, as I said in the previous video, it is slightly controversial. We need to make sure within that net zero that significant action is being taken to drive down carbon emissions, and it's not used as an excuse to just purely offset emissions coming out from an organisation. So that's where it can be quite controversial, and there are different projects and those in themselves can be quite controversial as well, and I'm quite happy to talk about those in future videos, and we'll explore some of the issues. But I hope this gives you a good, useful overview of thinking about what your action plan is going to look like and what that means for your business. In the next one, we're going to start drilling down into the different areas and looking at how we can tease out actions, what you might put in, who's going to be responsible for those actions, and how you're going to actually monitor and evaluate your targets going forward. So thanks.